Hey YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives and Lights with the Imalent DDT40. Now this was sent to me by Banggood.com to review, so I will include that link if you want to pick one up for yourself. It comes in a box just like that with some accessories. Alright, there is the instruction manual, and this is fairly complex. It's packed really well, it's protected. There is the light itself. It also comes with that belt holster, and it comes with some spare O-rings, always nice, and a recharging plug and cable. Very cool. That is it in the belt holster. Here's a closer look at the light. As you can see, it has a 4 emitter configuration. Right, and this is 4,200 lumens maximum, but then it has 2 area lights on the side that I will demonstrate. You might remember Emmalin from my previous review of this light with that touchscreen. Right, that's the SA04, and it's a variable color temperature light with touch switches. Imalent is a crazy company. They are known for cramming as many high-tech features as they possibly can into lights. So that's basically their gimmick: high performance and cool stuff, cool gadgets. Now, it would be impossible to review this light without comparing it to that light you see there. That is the TM26 GT from Nightcore, right? Otherwise known as one of their tiny monster lights. You can see the similarities. They both have data readouts, both have soda can configuration with quad-ray 4 emitter, right, setups. Basic operation of the light. To turn it on, you press that switch there. You see it also has a tripod mount right next to that switch. Directly opposite the switch, you have, on the other side, you have 2 touch switches and a data readout. Right, the lower switch will reduce the lumens, as you can see on that display, and the higher switch will increase them. So the lowest it goes is 5 lumens, that's like its moonlight. Increasing it once again, and the highest it can go will be 4,200. I stopped halfway. Now that is the data readout with the voltage. That is a compass, a digital compass. That is the temperature of the light. And that is how many hours remaining at that level of lumens. And then it tells you what lumens it's at. And you saw I cycled through that using the right side switch. This light also has 2 area lights, one on each side. And if you press the left side switch, first it'll turn on the right area light. Right, for 590 is the max lumens. Press it again and it turns on the left, and again and it'll turn on both. Now you can increase or decrease the lumens on those with the touch switches. Right, and maximum will be 590 each light. Okay, so that's the total of both. Press that switch again to get back to the regular mode. And to turn the whole thing off, you long press that large switch there. Alright, strobe warning, we've got special modes. Long press the left side switch, you get strobe, and it'll say strobe on the readout. Another long press will bring you to the beacon mode. Right, and another long press will bring you to SOS mode. Yeah, so 3 special modes, and press it again to get back to the light. This light runs on 4 18650 batteries. Alright, and to install or replace them, you just unscrew the body of the light from the head assembly of the light. Now I'm using a ThruNite brand because they work well, especially in extremely bright flashlights. The batteries can be recharged inside the light. Right, it has that plug-in cable, you just plug that into any regular electrical outlet, right, and there is a display. So you see when it's charging, there'll be that little animation there. Okay, at this time let's roll in the outside demonstration footage. Starting off on the testing board, that is the maximum, now decreasing it. As I said, 4,200 maximum to only 5 lumens minimum, right? And that would be good for reading. Now I'm going to increase it again, getting the hang of those touch switches. Yeah, it's very bright. You can see there's a lot of moisture in the air, but it's cutting through. That's what the display looks like at night. All right, strobe warning. There we go. Pretty disorienting. I wouldn't want that coming at me in a dark alley. And now the area lights on the side. That is one of the area lights. Now there's no hotspot, of course, because there's no reflector, and that is the maximum output for that light. All right, let's see what it looks like when you're not holding it. It's quite bright. You know, I would run it at lower than the maximum if I was using it as a lantern. You can see it lights up a good area. You know, if you're all sitting around at night, that's both of them. You know, if you're all sitting around at night, maybe you, for some reason, you don't have a campfire, but you want some light. Yeah, those are bright. Again, I would cut them down to maybe half the lumens. See, looks like a pair of ears. Pretty cool. Now here's a comparison with that Nightcore Tiny Monster model that I have. You can check out the previous review. Up top, you've got the Imalent on the testing board, and next to that is that Tiny Monster GT, which is actually the long-range Tiny Monster, so maybe not as good at short range as this. And below that you see the profile of the Beamshots. Pretty cool. Here I am out in the field. I'm lighting up a large open field with some trees around it. I just want to show you, what you can light up. All right, here is a hill. This is a very large and tall hill, in case you can't tell from that perspective, but that is a huge hill, actually. And this is reaching right up to the top. And if you were at the top, you'd look tiny. So this has decent range. I would not call it a specialized thrower, but it has decent range. There I am at a field. I've been told they play rugby here. From one goal to the other. Okay, so 100 meters. This is the light inside a fog bank, and you can see it's reaching to those treetops and down the road. Now you may remember my Convoy L2 review. This footage was taken at the same night. I test several lights at once. I was out there and a huge thick fog rolled in. And with that moisture in the air, it really shows how bright this is. Most lights you would get maybe 2 feet of vision, just your average little dinky light. This actually will burn through. So if you've ever wanted your own lightsaber, consider this light. A fog bank is basically like a cloud on the ground, and every one of those zillion million particles will tend to reflect some of the light back and it prevents you from getting a lot of range. You're not going to get like 300 meter range with all that moisture. But I think the footage does just show the raw power of this light. And also it's just cool to look at. I found it rather mesmerizing. It was pretty humid and miserable actually filming it though. Alright, so final conclusions on this light. Well, the touch switches, non-mechanical touch switches, very high tech. The area lights could be useful, especially when camping. 4,200 lumens is a lot. You can see if you ever need to burn through a fog bank. The range is decent. It's not a specialized thrower, but with that amount of light, it's still going to reach out a good distance. And I like that you can recharge the batteries inside the light. That's useful. But overall, they've crammed this with so many features, and the interface is just kind of like chaos. There's switches on every side of this light, so it's not the simplest thing to use quickly, especially with all the special modes and features. The thing has everything, including a digital compass. It pretty much has the kitchen sink thrown in. There was no reason for them to copy the quad ray configuration that Nightcore is using, because this thing has many features that are distinctive and apart from the features on that Nightcore light. I'm going to state the obvious. This is not for beginners, and it's not for someone who needs to operate all the features very quickly, because like I said, there's switches on every side of this thing. All right, if you're buying this, you pretty much know going in that you're just trying to get like the most bragging rights for all new kinds of gadgety features and nerdy stuff. Okay, that's pretty much, you accept that when you buy an Imalent light. You know, I don't know what strong psychedelics they take at Emmalin when they start to design a new light, but that must be some good stuff. I want to try that because, you know, step 1, they try to piss off Nightcore. Step 2, put as many switches as possible. Step 3, all sorts of special modes and displays and as many features as possible. And I'm not complaining, I'm just stating the obvious. I'm actually glad that they do that because, you know, there's about 60 different companies that are all competing in the budget, you know, $5 to $10 light department or $5 to $20. So we don't need another company doing that. It's good when companies try to do this and compete in this area. So yeah, this ain't no Ultrafire and ain't no Trustfire. That's a good thing. All right, I'll include the link if you want one. I'm out.